Okay, everybody, some of you have already had to listen to me today already, but this is going to be slightly different, so hopefully that's okay. Ben, this still isn't working. Oh, there we go. All right, so a little bit about me then. So I am annoyed at this. Development Officer for SPUC Scotland. And I'm also the coordinator for Project Truth. And I am also the coordinator for ARCH, Abortion Recovery Care and Helpline. So some of you have already maybe been to Claire's workshop earlier today. Oh, that came on too quick. Anyway, I brought a picture of the staff there in the Scottish office. So yeah, so that's the team there in Scotland. So we've got Super John in the middle there, Emmet, Margaret, Michael and Ali. Some of you might maybe notice that I'm not actually in this picture, but I do have another picture that I am in. There's a bit of a delay, actually. Hey! That is me. That's because at certain parts of the year I actually identify as a Christmas tree. I am actually in that picture, if you can see my face. That was in an attempt to actually win a Christmas jumper competition in the office, which I actually did win, so that was great. So that's me there. Okay, so usually I like to start with a few fun facts. Oh, skipping away ahead. A few fun facts about myself. I once won an award for Time Waster of the Year, and that is actually a true story. I did win an award for Time Waster of the Year, and that was when I worked for American Express, and the manager, we were having a Christmas party, and she thought it would be great fun to buy fake Oscars and give everybody a little award. And usually when we were sitting, in the bureau or whatever, sometimes it would be quiet, so I would come up with little games to try and amuse everybody. She thought it was time wasting. I call it creative, but okay. So it's also my 7th youth conference, so I've been coming since 2011. There we go. So I've been coming since 2011. I've only missed one in between, so that's been 8 years. And the first youth conference I went to was in Loch Lomond in Scotland. And that was a really great experience for me. It was a fantastic time. And, there we go, I've got a picture as well of me at my first youth conference. So like I said, it was Loch Lomond. So many of you, it'll be for your first youth conference as well. So stick your hand up if it's your first youth conference. So that's quite a lot of you. So hopefully that had a great impression on me, because when I turned up at the youth conference, I didn't really know what to expect from it. I would have said I was pro-life, but it was one of those things where I would say, this is terrible, someone should do something about it. Who's going to do it, And I never thought that person would be me. So when I left that youth conference, I was thinking, actually, that person should be me. And hopefully when you guys leave here as well, if it's your first youth conference, you'll be thinking, I need to actually do something as well. So that's me there standing. I was manning Sister Andrea's stall there, so I was, because the great question in life is actually, where is Sister Andrea? Some of you might have been asking that, and that is a brilliant question, because half the time she's actually in the room. Well done, Sister. Well done for turning up there. Well done. So that is the great question in life, where is Sister Andrea? We found her with a very young-faced Alethea, who's also in the picture there, who's a communications officer for SPUC in London. But I think we should give Sister Andrea an award for that. In Scotland, we call it skiving. She gets a new Time Waster of the Year award. You're welcome, Sister. So what I wanted to, that takes us on to the next bit. What I wanted to talk to you guys about, the reason I put in the superhero picture, the reason I put in the award part, is because I want to talk about what it means to be a hero. What is a hero? If you guys think about that, if you think about what a hero is, what does that mean to you? What do you think a hero is? And when I initially thought about that question, I thought, who is my hero? Who would I say? And I came up with this. Emmet is my hero, because Emmet always has chocolate. It's just a true fact, Emmet always has chocolate. And I bet if we ask Emmet right now, Emmet's going to have chocolate, do you? So who would like to win some chocolate from Emmet?
Yeah, you think...
Well, you never sounded so excited. I might just take it myself. Who wants to win chocolate off of Emmet? Hey, here we go.
Yes. Okay, you think we actually rehearsed that, wouldn't you, Louise?
Hey.
Anyway, I know, it's just that graveyard shift, isn't it? You're sitting after lunch. Okay, so to win this amazing bar of chocolate, It's the Marvelous Creations. I love it. It's my favorite bar of chocolate because each one of you is a marvelous creation, okay? You've heard this already. Like, how many times do I have to tell you? You're a marvelous creation. You're unique, unrepeatable. Okay, and you're human. Most of you. Okay? So to win this bar of chocolate, you got to stand up. You got to stand up, stand up, stand up. And you have to put your hands in your head or your hands on your bum. Hands on your head or hands on your bum. Now make sure your hands are on your own bum, okay? Yeah, okay, we're not that pro-life, okay? Here we go. And it's hands on your head, sit down. Hands on your head, sit down. Hands on your head, sit down, okay. Those who are still standing, hands in your head or hands on your bum. One or the other, one or the other, one or the other. And it's hands on your head, sit down. Hands on your head, sit down. Hands on your head, sit down. There you go. And again, hands on your head or hands on your bum. One or the other, one or the other. And it's hands on your head, sit down. Hey. There you go, sister. You need to pray harder. Okay. And it's, again, hands on your head or hands on your bum. And it's hands on your bum, sit down. Hands on your bum, sit down. Hands on your bum, sit down. Oh, ho. There we go. You see there, Eden? God's saying you need to eat some. Okay, hands on your head or hands on your bum, okay? And it's hands on your bum, sit down. Oh, sit down there, Joseph. Okay, hands on your head or hands on your bum. Okay, and it's one or the other. And it's hands on your, hold on. And it's head, sit down. Oh, and there we go. So, what's your name and where are you from?
Syra, come from York.
From York, okay, well, here you go. And you're a marvelous creation. Syra, okay.
Thank you, Emmet. I don't need that. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so that takes us back to then the original question, what is a hero? So if you think about that question, these slides are, there we go. So if you think about what is a hero, think about what you think a hero is. Does anybody want to give me an answer of what you think a hero is? Does anyone have, shout something at me? Brave, you okay? Yeah, all these good things. Yeah. So all of those things are great, but we'll look at I typed it into Google, so what is a hero? And we got the Google definition of that, if it comes up, ever. No, it's not, I've got a zoomed in version of it. There we go. So, a hero is a person who is admired for their courage, their outstanding achievements, or their noble qualities. That's what Google says about it as well. And then I found another quote. So it says there, I think a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. So I think we can all agree, with everything we just said there, that we can agree that a hero is someone that we find particularly inspiring. We find, the hero an inspiring person. So moving on, when I asked the question as well, who is your, when you think of someone inspiring, who is your inspiration and why is that person inspiring to you? So think of someone just now, who is your inspiration and why do you find that person inspiring? And when I was thinking about that for me, sorry, there's a real delay on these slides. I was thinking of Stephanie Gray for me because she links in with the pro-life thing. So how many people have heard of Stephanie Gray? Okay, so there's a few of you, but not all of you. So look Stephanie Gray up. She's a great pro-life apologetic speaker. She's amazing. I really admire, her compassionate approach, her loving approach to pro-life apologetics. And she did a talk at Google. And even if you just put that into Google, Stephanie Gray Google, you'll get her talk, and it's absolutely amazing. I do recommend that you guys have a look at that. I think I've got a picture of that as well. Yeah, so what Stephanie says, so she goes around the world in her vast travels and she asks people the question, who do you think is inspiring and why? And what Stephanie says is, here's what I've discovered. Very often there are different answers for who inspires the individual, but I've begun to notice a trend theme when it comes to why certain individuals inspire us. It seems generally that people who are inspiring have suffered in some way or they've faced some sort of obstacle or challenge or difficulty. What sets them apart from those who don't inspire is how they respond to their suffering, to the challenge, or to the difficulty. And then Stephanie goes further to say in that talk, so inspiring people have three qualities in common. They put others ahead of themselves, they have perspective, and they do the right thing even when it's hard. So thinking about, in her talk, if you go and look her up, she spends like an hour expanding on those, but I don't have an hour. So, You know, the first point there, put others ahead of themselves. Some of you may remember, you might have seen the film Sully, or you might remember a couple of years ago, there was the pilot who had to land the plane on the Hudson River. And if you remember that, you know, that went around the world. And what had happened is they had engine failure. The pilot had to make a quick decision. Where do I land this plane? How do I land this plane? And how do I save the people who are on it? And he decided that the easiest way to save the lives of the people on that plane was to land on the Hudson River. So he went ahead and did that, and no one died. But then he had to help everybody out the plane. And he himself went up and down the plane several times as it was filling up with water to make sure that everybody was off the plane and all the lives were saved on that plane. And then he left himself once everyone else was off. So that went around the world, and people were calling him a hero for that, you know, because he was inspiring by what he did. He saved all those lives and he got everyone off the plane. And then the next bit, you know, have perspective. So a quick sort of, what would you say that picture was then, if I was to ask you? Does anybody know? No?
Superhero costume.
Yeah, that was a good guess, but it's a fly's eye. Very lovely picture there, and I've just really put these pictures in because I know Margaret finds them disgusting, so I thought I'd just put them in anyway. So it's a fly's eye, and if I've got another example there, what do you think that one is?
Louise in the morning.
Yeah, that's a good guess, yeah. Anyone else? No? Hey, you have some good perspective, young man. It is a walnut. So we have a walnut there. And then the third one, sorry, this thing's not working again. So do the right thing even when it's hard. My example for that is, I've got a picture here, that is us on Project Truth in the summer in Glasgow. And the woman in the picture, so the two kids are her kids, but this is Emma, and you'll notice that Emma is pregnant, quite heavily so. And Emma's pregnancy was a really difficult one for a lot of reasons, you know, and she had a lot going on, very, very difficult situations. And at the start of her pregnancy, abortion was very, very much on the cards for her. That was a real consideration. She had no support, she had no help. Oh, it's up here, thank you. So she never had a lot of help within that, and her health wasn't very good either. She had loads of things going on with her health. But thank goodness Emma met some people who were there to support her, and you know, I was in text contact with her for a lot of her pregnancy, for most of her pregnancy, and the Cardinal Women ProLife Initiative, Sister Andrea, Sister Jess, Sister Roseanne, were there for her to try and, you know, help her through her pregnancy. So thank goodness these people were there to give her a different perspective, you know, and she, you know, she persevered and she made the right choice even when it was hard. So in a month's time, there we go, we got baby Niall joined us, and that's me meeting Niall for the first time, and it was amazing. He's got a wee green and white top on there, so if you're Scottish or if you're a football fan, he's wearing the right colours for tomorrow's game, that's all I'm going to say. And I've got another little picture there with me and Niall, so I got my little matching Project Truth hoodie, so that's us just chilling together, having a great time. But yeah, so she made the right choice even when it was hard. And recently I was reading a book, it was nothing to do with pro-life stuff or anything like that, but I came across a quote, and it said, "The most heroic acts seem to be called forth when the weakest and most vulnerable members of society are endangered." And we heard that earlier as well, you know, the same sort of theme was coming through. And that's so true, you know, because, you know, when we think about that great quote from Tolkien, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. That's so true, and I just stuck that in for my own amusement because it's pretty cute. But for what we do, you know, the weakest and most vulnerable members of our society, we protect the unborn child. And there we go, we've got, like, Rhea helped me out with this as well. We've got a little superhero there, and that's actually Niall's scan picture. So Niall that we saw earlier there, that's actually his scan picture. So in Scotland, what we're trying to do is we're trying to give young people a platform to become the next heroes. So we've got pictures there of our Project Truth team, that's us at March for Life in Birmingham, then the March for Life in Washington, DC. Yeah, so we took a group in January to Washington, DC, and there were 17 of us, and it was an absolutely amazing trip. And we do it because it's an educational trip. We use that as an educational tool. There's loads of conferences that we go to. We learn, you know, from loads of great speakers, and that's us there at the Lincoln Memorial. And beside that, we've got the very spot where Martin Luther King made his "I Had a Dream" speech. And many of you will recognise that speech, and it's known the world over for him being such an inspiration to many people and standing up for the weakest and most vulnerable people in society then, and which was a great human rights issue. And we can link that in quite comfortably with what we're trying to do with, you know, the biggest human rights issue of our time in defending the most vulnerable people in our society. So we take them there, we try and inspire the young people, and you know, being in Washington DC certainly did that. The guys came back all buzzing. If you speak to any of them that came, most of them are at this conference as well, so they just keep going with the pro-life work. We've got a picture there over at Students for Life conference as well, which is amazing. It's kind of like this. America's a massive place, so there's just thousands and thousands of young people, and we learned so much from speakers and workshops and everything that was happening there as well. It was great. And I've got a little video as well to show you.
We march because we are pro-life. 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 I say save them, you say baby, save them. Baby, save them. Baby. I say pro, you say life. Pro, life. Pro, life. Pro, life, life, life. Hey.
Just a wee video there, but like I said, we're trying to give the platform to young people to, you know, to be the next heroes, but also to create the next heroes, and not even just with their peers and creating, you know, encouraging other young people to get involved, but creating the next heroes with, you know, women who are in crisis pregnancies that we might come up against. We're empowering them to choose life for their children and, you know, allow them to become the hero. So we are also creating heroes as well as we go along. And another thing that we do is Project Truth. And I did a workshop earlier on and I explained that in a bit more detail. The video actually didn't work, but I'm going to show you the video and that will pretty much explain what Project Truth is, and you'll get a better picture of what that is from the video. So we're out here on the Project Truth Roadshow. We've been going around sort of Monday to Friday. We're on Thursday now, we've got one more day tomorrow. And the reason we do it is really we're just out in the streets. We've got these leaflets here, and on the back we've got the development of the baby in the first 10 weeks of pregnancy. So we're just drawing people's attention to, within the first 10 weeks, the baby has heartbeat, it's got arms and legs, fingers and toes.
I've seen the last 3 years, and I just thought, I'm pro-life, I have an interest in the area, and I think a lot of people don't know what an abortion involves and what life there is from conception, and I just thought, I know, I'm happy to share it with other people. So
it's my personal experience is my mum had me when she was 16. My dad was not there, and she got on just great, and I just think, how amazing is that, you know? If my mum can do it, why can't any other girl, you know?
That we are pro-women, we're here for women in whatever circumstance they find themselves in, whether they are pregnant or had an abortion. We're here, either side, just to say it's all right, we'll get through it, and give them whatever support
and relate,
they need.
Yeah, exactly. So not because we're young, we can relate to them easily.
Your encounters with people is really important. It can be anything from talking about where life begins, the development of the child in the womb. You know, we've got all the fetal models, and we're talking about what qualities the child has at different stages of development. But I mean, even little things like this, you've got here the size of the child's feet at 10 weeks inside the womb, and you know that makes a difference when somebody sees that. So we're here to talk about the humanity of the child, and also to promote the work of ARCH, Abortion Recovery Care Helpline, to help women who are in problem situations, crisis pregnancies, and also who afterwards, maybe after having an abortion, are looking for some help. So really we're an all-encompassing mission here.
It's just amazing to be out with a group of people who believe the same things as you. So there's a real community in it. At night you get to socialise with people who believe the same thing as you and have chats and have lots of fun, make really good friends. And also that you're out here, you really are making a difference. We talk to lots and lots of different people. We talk to people that don't know anything about the development of the baby in the womb, that don't know anything about pro-life, and and who we are and what we believe. You speak to kids who, for them, it's just amazing to see the development of the baby in the womb. You speak to people who've had abortions, and you can hopefully touch them in some way as well with our arch leaflets and things on the stall.
I'm Joseph. I'm a student. I'm actually from India. I'm a student in Edinburgh, and I got interested in pro-life activity, and I got to know it from a conference I attended in St Andrews. So since then, I had a feeling like we need to talk for people who don't have their actual voice, and every child, irrespective of what it's a life that we are getting from God. It deserves a chance, and we need to speak for the people. And if you look at Scotland's population, we are having an aging population.
I think that I can acknowledge that abortion is like hurting women and taking lives and scarring society pretty much, and people don't know about this, and people should know about this.
On Monday we were up in Stirling, and that was amazing. I'd never seen Stirling before, but people were so receptive, and they're very shocked that there's a push that there's abortion to birth up to the 40 weeks. They couldn't understand that or why there's a need for it.
So I work for SPUC down in London. I'm the communications officer. So anything you see on the website or the Facebook or the Twitter, that's all me. I first did Project Truth the first time it happened, I think 4 years ago now, a couple of years ago. So I just really wanted to kind of get up here again, get out from behind the desk and go out and speak to the public about life. I think we've had some really good reactions so far, so this is our 4th day. I think actually Motherwell today has been great. We've had so many mothers and kids coming up and so many people signing our petition. I think what we're seeing all over Scotland is people do not want abortion to be decriminalised. Even people who don't agree with us generally think it's awful that people want to have abortion up until birth. Yeah, so we've had some really good reactions here in Scotland.
At the end of the day, you're speaking to guys in the team about it, and you really, talk about it, and you really feel that we're doing a really good thing here. That even if we save one life, or if we just get people talking about it, really, maybe the mood can change, the public opinion.
Okay, so if anyone, if you've heard about the stuff, if you're at the workshop earlier, if you're interested in coming along on Project Truth, the dates this year is going to be the 5th to the 10th of August. We'll have training on the 5th, and then we'll take it from Monday to Friday on the road around Scotland, visiting different towns and cities and bringing the pro-life message to the streets. And if you get in touch with me, see me after this if you're interested. I can give you my card. If you email me, I can send you an online application next week once we get back from the youth conference. But if you don't think that is the kind of thing that you think that you can do, that's okay, because there's loads of things in the pro-life movement that we can do as well. So if you're artistic, we've got this picture here. So again, that was Rhea that helped with that one. She made that great picture of Project Truth. So she's using her, artistic gifts and talents. And we've also got, we've got Hannah as well, who's here this weekend as well, and she did those great images for the March for Life when we went to Washington DC, and she's been helping us as well with some artistic things in the office. So if you're a photographer, you see the guys here today who are taking photos, videos, that kind of thing. Even, if you come on the Project Truth Roadshow, we need photographers, so we're always looking for that, so you can use your gifts and talents in that way. If you're a good speaker, there are ways to get involved as well. Why don't you become a white flower speaker for SPUC? All across the UK they have white flower talks. You go into parishes and you give a short appeal about the work of SPUC. Or Project Truth, like I mentioned before. Or if your university or your college doesn't have a pro-life group, then why not start one up? There's a couple of representatives here this weekend from APS, so if you don't know how to go about that, get in touch with the guys from APS and they'll give you some good information on that. Or again, if you've been to Claire's workshop, you might, have an idea about how people are affected after abortion decisions. So we have a helpline where people can phone who have been damaged by abortion, and we have befrienders who man the line who can just be the first port of contact. They can talk to these people, and just if they need counselling, they can pass on to the office, or maybe they just need to talk to someone. The fact that we're there is a massive thing for the people that call Arch. It can be men as well. So if you want to maybe help out with that, you could become a befriender with Arch. Or the social media, we had a social media workshop today as well. So if that's how you want to spread the pro-life message, and if you didn't go to the workshop, there are other ways that, we can give you tips on how to, be a pro-life hero online as well. And if you're interested in politics, there's things you can write to your MP, your MSP, that kind of thing. If you speak to, you know, the staff that are interested in that area, we've got Michael here who does like most of our politics in the office, and he liaises with the London staff on the politics as well. So if you're interested in, you know, lobbying your MPs, MSPs, anything like that, do get in touch and we can send you a pack or something on how to do that. And then there's the March for Life, which will be in London this year as well. So you really should get your groups together, get, you know, your friends, your university groups, your college groups, and Ben's going to be saying a few words after me about that. And it's a really great experience to go to and just, you know, defend the unborn in a massive group and just let the other side see that, you know, there are so many young pro-life people in this movement that are willing to stand up for the unborn. And then, you know, sort of just finishing up, you know, there have been loads of great speakers this weekend. You know, you've heard so much information, but it's what you're going to do with it. You guys own this information now. So what are you going to do with that? Don't just come to the conference, then go away for a year and come back next year and keep doing that. Do something. One of those areas that you maybe could get involved with, if there's something else, even ask the staff and say, you know, I can do this, I'm really, you know, into this kind of thing. Is there anything I can help with? You know, do something. Be informed, be inspired, and get involved. That is the main thing. And the biggest thing about this whole talk is be a hero, be a pro-life hero. So I'm going to finish up there, but I'm going to ask Ben. Is Ben in the room? Is Ben here? Are you there? So I'm going to just kind of finish up with a little game. So Ben's going to help me. He doesn't really know what I'm going to do yet, but he's going to help me anyway. So guys, if you all stand up. We're not getting chocolate this time though. So if Ben wants to take that side of the room, and I'm going to take this side of the room, okay, so we're going to break it down. This side of the room, the words that you're going to do is I stand, and this side of the room is going to be for life, okay? I stand for life. And Ben's going to start us off. So if he points to that side of the room, I want you to shout.
I stand.
For life.
I stand.
For life.
I stand.
For life. Okay, but we're going to do it. And we're all going to add a bit of energy into it as well, okay? So I want you to, you know, we're the pro-life generation, and let's show we're the pro-life generation. So I want you to jump up as high as you can, put your hands in the air, shout, I stand for life. Okay, you ready? You get it, yeah? SPUC Youth. Okay, Ben, that's your cue. That's your cue, Ben. So.
I stand.
No, we'll do that again. Wait. I'll count you in, Ben, if that's what you need. I'll count you in, okay. So, SPUC Youth, 3, 2, 1.
I stand.
For life.
I stand.
For life.
I stand.
For life. Hey. So, that's pretty much it. So what you guys need to do now when you leave this conference is you guys need to be a pro-life hero. Oh.